Hello. Good evening, everybody. This is Gerard, Christine, and Jonathan, and a special guest who just appeared, Susan, late as usual.
Always. Sorry.
How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
You know what? Facebook lagged behind. Because according to Facebook, I had like 10 seconds left. I would have been here on.
Well, you know, there's nothing real here. This is a child's website from now on. This is absolutely a false reality. You come here to have fun with your friends, but don't expect anything to be true. Probably not even the damn time.
Did you see Ty's memes that he's been making?
Yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing.
They're great.
Memes of Ty.
Oh, Ty, yes.
Serious George.
He's been
like
nailing
amazing. Yeah. Wow. That's a brilliant guy. Oh.
Yeah. He made that one Facebook, the Walmart of social media.
Yeah. Yeah. It was amazing.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's great. And
You know what?
There was another one, Twitter, because I never had much self-respect anyway.
You know what?
So good.
Great.
I've seen a few of them on Instagram. I didn't know he was making them. I thought that this Beaufont or somebody else took it upon themselves.
No.
Yeah,
And I like there was another one. It's my favorite because I say it all the time at work. I'm like, what woman fought for this? Like, always pissed. I shouldn't be picking up concrete at 44 years old. You know what I mean? And, he made one. Feminism. We regret entering the workforce.
Feminism, we regret what?
We regret entering the workforce.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, you triggered Robert. Robert doesn't want to hear that. He doesn't. Not the whole slavery work part, but Robert and Ty, they don't have the closest loving relationship at this moment. But no, but you could apply that to anyone. I ask that same damn question all the time. I was like, what black people got in line for this? What black people were beaten with hoses and chased with dogs and nobody died for this. Nobody fought for this. This is all BS. 100%. Is there an echo?
Yeah.
Did they have one with Black Lives Matter? Antifa. What did you say from Antifa? What you become or something.
Wait.
Of what of hate? What we hate. Antifa, what we hate. Is we become what we hate. Or whatever. No, it was even more. It was better.
Yeah.
Anyhow. But I didn't see Black Lives Matter. You must have something from that too.
I don't know. But he had one.
He did have BLM on
with the cops. I didn't see the BLM one.
Yeah, it's good.
No, I didn't see that either.
Cops hate it until we're needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I saw too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I like the other one that was like black because fuck your family's fuck your ancestors.
Nationality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to see him. I haven't seen
They're
him.
so good.
I've been
worth checking out, Gerard. Yeah.
I've been
you have to see them. They're amazing.
Yeah, my favorite was Welfare State, begging psychopaths to be our parents since 1861.
That one was
I love
brilliant.
that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
See, this is how I know it's not the end of the world. This is how I know that this apocalypse is bullshit. This is not an ending, it's the beginning. So many people, like when you just mentioned that about welfare, so many people already understand what you're talking about. But 15 years ago, it would be, some sort of a big argument. Like they've obviously used welfare to create another slave plantation.
Sure.
And people see that, like, I think in so many ways, people are starting to see through the nonsense. So this, I think, is a beginning. I think we are going to go back to ancient knowledge to bring us back to the top. Freedom and sovereignty and all that deliciousness.
Oh, one more thing though, right? At work, someone had written on a box. We found it. it was like a box of glue sticks or something. But someone wrote COVID and then wrote certificate of identification, whatever, and then wrote wake up people. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of us doing that, isn't it? Like Tony and Nick Stinson and some of them, aren't they going around with that marker doing some of that in the public restrooms? Yeah, we used to do that with Ron Paul. I was a Ron Paul guy. We used to go stick the stickers everywhere.
Well, speaking of Ron Paul, there was a great meme that was done by Babylon B. Did you see it? Of Ron Paul disguising the Federal Reserve building with a big Nike sign. Did you see that, Susan?
The Federal Reserve instead.
And that's another one. That's another, like, you could mention the Federal Reserve 10 years ago and nobody knows what you're talking about.
Right.
Nobody has any idea.
Largely Ron Paul to thank for that one, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Ron was the one who woke me up on that big time. I mean, even when he started talking about it, I was still kind of like, you know, I understand him on the IRS. I understand him with the CIA. I understand him with the police state. I understand him with the war on drugs. I understand him with, you know, mass incarceration. I have no idea what he's talking about when it came to the Federal Reserve. And it took a few years for it to sink in and a little bit of research before you start to realize.
Well, that's when the sales for A Creature from Jekyll Island just went through the roof.
Yeah.
And
well, he started talking about it.
Yeah, when he started talking about it.
Yeah. And now to apply it to today and wisdom, you know, why would Derek Chauvin kill
George Floyd?
Derek Chauvin. I don't think he even exists. That was a made-up guy. That was a whole movie scripted from beginning to end, and it's like a 6-month-long movie.
It was a psyop.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. Let's pretend. Can we pretend for a minute?
Let's pretend it's real? Okay, go ahead.
Let's pretend.
Wait, don't say too much. Be careful.
It's
Call other names. Call other names. You will be banned.
I personally will say that I don't know what happened. All I know is what happened is not what they put on the news. That's all I know. What I know is that none of it added up. And so, but let's pretend for a moment that everything they said is true. The reason why
that big.
you have to try. I mean, look at your peers. Like, they believe billionaires are coming to save them. Massive industries are swooping in to save grandma. Come on. If they can believe that, then you can try a little harder, Susan. Let's pretend. Let's pretend. The reason police are killing people is because they have jobs to do. Their jobs are increasingly hard because people don't like the laws, because the laws are unconstitutional, because we have a police state. And why do we have a police state? Because industry wants our rights to make profit, to have captive customers. So they pay legislators to do that. They write the laws to take our rights, and people don't want that. So they have to arm the police heavier and heavier. They have to get more brutal. They have to create more tactics to subdue people who are having their livelihoods taken away from them and their ability to feed themselves. And eventually you get to a point where, well, why are they doing it? Well,
in the end, Gerard, to add to that, there will only be about 6 or 7 corporations. One which is a complete food monopoly, and then one which is a tech monopoly, right? And then they'll have 5 or 6 of them. And they'll be global, and they'll control all food production on the world, all electronic devices, all banking. I think that's what they want. And of course, the people at the top control all of it.
I think that's what they already have.
It's already like that.
It's already here.
You want to bring it out in the open.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate
I'm pretty sure it's out in the open. You certainly nobody wants to get it yet.
But it's
right.
It's so funny that we live in a time where even a child could connect the dots and realize that the reason why, people are killed by police, the reason why oppression exists, the reason why we're still colonizing and destroying other nations and stealing their resources is because you have a central banking system that requires corporations beat each other, industries beat each other, and people and identities and races and religions fight each other over all the resources that they're consolidating at the top. And Ron Paul, he nailed it right from the very beginning.
We were talking about central banks, and I said to Justin, where there are central banks, there are always standing armies, and those standing armies are always used.
Yes, they have to be.
Plus, it's all, like I said, always with the sounds and vibrations and energies and stuff, right? Because, like, even them calling it the Federal Reserve, it's not federal. It's not U.S. It's not America. It's a foreign bank that does that owns our wealth. Yes, like it's insane.
Yeah.
And it's all full demand all the time.
But it's beautiful because now you can say that, and there's absolutely no one who can read or write who can detest that, who plans on reading or writing or has a brain in their head, right? It's all in the public domain now, and it's easily accessible. So,
yeah, but nobody has to do that. People want to watch, I don't know, videos of white cops beating up black guys and getting all outraged.
Yeah.
That's all they want to do. They don't actually want to read anything.
That's real.
Research. They just want to be emotionally invested in something.
Right.
Let me add to that, though. It's what they're told. Let me add. It's what they're told to do, right? Like in reality, like the only way you break an intellectual, somebody capable of critical thought, is you got to make them emotional. That's the only way you can get somebody that's intelligent to do really stupid things, and they're told to do it.
Afraid or angry. Either way.
Exactly. White people coming to get them. That's and there you got it. And they have everything to say.
Everybody go get a black friend real quick.
This is hilarious. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like, I'm sorry. I am racist when it comes to that. I used to go grab white people when we had to go somewhere. If we had to go to a party and it was in a certain neighborhood, if I was going to Hispanic neighborhoods, going to a party or something, event, I grab Hispanic. That's what I do. You always need somebody. Dave Chappelle said it best. You always need somebody to talk to the police. And the police in that area are probably going to look like the people in that area. You don't want to be the outsider. Bad things going to happen. So now you got white folk going to find black people going to find white people, Hispanics and Asians. I don't know who they're finding, but America's a mess, y'all.
They're bringing us all together because we all got to mix in order to stay safe.
Yeah, true, because we need black guards to stay white. The Asian need Hispanic ones to stay safe and things like that. So we find each other and we keep each other safe. So that's going to work nicely. Yeah.
Isn't that a prophecy? The rainbow people?
The rainbow people.
Yes.
There you have it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Is that us?
Is it Susan? Is it a Hopi prophecy? I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Passamaquoddy, they said it too.
That's said everywhere. Actually, people, the awakened is the enlightened people, the people who are conscious. They call it the rainbow people because it's everywhere on the world that people are getting the awareness and
But and this is how things go, right? And this is back to ancient knowledge and cycles, the yugas, and that you get to this point where there's so much power and profit and control and resources held by the few that the rest all have the same enemy, and eventually it becomes so obvious that they buck the system and start all over. And that's where we are.
It's a simple realization that 7.99999 billion of us have nothing, and there's like 10,000 people that have everything.
Yeah.
But let's go fight with the 7.999 that have nothing because their skin color's different, or they like different genitals from the ones they got or the same ones they got. I don't know. The hair is funny, the teeth, they're not getting injected. They believe in nature, and let's find all these reasons to divide up people. Or because they're born in a different country like China. Did y'all see the Chinese Rambo? Did y'all see that?
What's that?
China, I have to post a video.
Dude, China is freaking scary. That's all I gotta say. So they teach karate at like 5. So we're all screwed.
Yeah.
You're talking to the wrong one.
They're very obedient. They listen and they're well trained. They're the best students because they listen.
Authoritarianism.
They have the best
that's why they like
country ever.
Yeah.
So y'all talking to the wrong person if y'all want me to be scared of a karate apocalypse. I love the sound of that. I couldn't wait to get home from church to watch the Saturday matinee and Bruce Lee and a bunch of people beat. If you telling me that an airplane will fly over and drop 1 million karate experts to like fight Americans, I'm loving that. That's better than the alien apocalypse. Blue Beam can wait. I want to see that. I want to see little kids run up and down the street. What's that name, Jackie? The little kid. Right? Y'all remember the little kid?
Take us over with 8-year-olds.
Yes. Yes. The little kid. Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones. That racist movie. The little kid on Indiana Jones. I want to see millions of them just beating Americans up. Please, I'd laugh. He killed me, and I'd laugh the whole time. Take them swords out and the tang things and
a little Chinese kid.
I'd laugh the whole time. I love it.
Yeah, it's Karate Kid. Yeah, and then we have Kung Fu. David. That's from Carradine. That was a very good series. David Carradine. It was really wisdom. You have to see those Kung Fu episodes. They're amazing.
That was a good show.
I'm good with it. And it's not racist because I would love to see Vikings land on the coast too. I'd love to see a bunch of naked people get off the boat with swords and all kind of face paint and braided beard and stuff and just start cutting people up. I like that one too. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see a bunch of Africans hit the coast, Zulus jump out with the white headdress and the shields and stuff and start stabbing people. Listen, I've been bored my entire life working in corporate America. You go ahead and show me a fight that would be fun to watch. I'd enjoy watching that. So not just them. I'd love to see some Aztecs and some Mayans if they still around. Come on up here. Just build some pyramids, start cutting people up, just let the blood drip down the pyramid and stuff. That would be fun. Anything's better than corporate America.
Hold on, I gotta tell this really funny story. Okay, because this is what I'm saying. This is my family. Okay, so. My brother, my oldest, I'm the oldest, but my oldest brother, married a Chinese woman, right? And the first time we ever met her, he brought her to a wedding, like a family wedding. And so me and my cousin are meeting her at the same time, right? And we asked her how old she was. And she's older than my brother, but younger than me. Right? And my cousin goes, "Oh, wow, you look so young. I have to start eating more rice."
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but no, it's true. But no. I don't find it's funny, but it's true. But it's true. If you eat the Asian diet keeps you young. It's racist, but it is true. But they don't eat so much sugar. They don't like sweets. That's why they have a beautiful skin. At 40, you think they're 20 years old. Really. They are like that. Yeah, you stop me.
Yeah, but I
did 5 days.
GMO organic rice, but yeah.
I did 5 days my rice diet. That was about it.
Well, they say there's a degree of truth to everything, right? And this is why I don't fit in with the society. This is part of the reason I'm moving off grid. I don't get along with these people. Like I grew up with Andrew Dice Clay, with Whoopi Goldberg before they broke her when she was back on crack, when she was honest, Robin Williams, George Carlin. Like I like honesty. Yeah. I like laughing at stupid things and ignorant things. And the young people, they want to how I guess Ty's meme said, they want the state to be their daddy. They want corporations to be their mommy, and they want people to talk nice instead of fixing the environment so people will be nice. And I don't have time for that. To me, we grew up with comedy, and when everybody's laughing together, we all love each other. We're all family. We're all having a good time because we all do some stupid things. All of our cultures have some really little silly, ignorant things, and a lot of it's based in truth. And so I can't, but what they're trying is going to fail anyway, so it doesn't really even matter. They can try to use force in a police state while they hate the police to force people to talk how they want them to talk. It's going to fail. All hypocrisy collapses. It's not.
I think so. I mean, I think a lot of police is fed up. I mean, at least here in Belgium, and in Holland, it's fed up with being rude to the protesters because they don't want it, but they have to from their bosses. But a lot of say they're done with it. I mean, it's like that Hannah, they start a corporation, an organization for police for the people or something, and has a lot of. I mean, it works in different countries already. So I think even if they stop being violent, then they're totally lost. Because why are people obeying? Because they don't want to be beaten up by police, or they don't want to pay the fee they have to pay. But anyhow,
Yeah.
I mean,
so to bring this back, I was gonna say to bring it back. So we do want to do ancient knowledge, and I think as much as a lot of this feeds into the story of Atlantis and the different cycles, and we're just stupid and we keep repeating the same stupid things. What do we want to read today? What do we want to talk about today specifically?
So you want me to run it down for everyone, or okay?
Yeah. So, what are our choices?
Live television studio audience. This is the choose your own adventure version of ancient knowledge. We're leaving it up to you guys today to pick the book that we want to cover. So we've got some of our regulars. We got the Emerald Tablets, the one we've been reading out of for the last few weeks. We've got Initiation, which is what we started with. We've got a couple of other books that we have touched on from time to time, the Hermetica, and the book called The Illumined Ones, which is about a seer's past life adventures in Egypt and in South America. And then I've got a new book, which I just started to read. It's called Sun Men of the Americas, and it is about ancient Native American spirituality, and also a little bit of history as well, and some channeled history as well. This author is the same as the author of The Illumined Ones. So go ahead and, place your selections. Anyway.
We don't have a good way.
None of them paid attention.
Right?
Oh yeah, we're on different time zones. We're all lagging in different time zones, so we can be monitored by AI algorithms, so we can be banned in blocks.
Courtney says Jose and Jose B. Oh, jeez.
I think she was saying Jose A and Jose B from her Mexican twins.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know which. I don't think I want to know. I don't even want to ask.
That's nice. A Spanish name, Jose.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I don't.
Yeah.
Kevin Starr says we should cover Seth Speaks. Have you guys read Seth Speaks? It's amazing. It's brilliant. We should cover that.
It sounds really familiar for some
reason.
No,
I don't.
Yeah, but
it's very good.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Why does Seth?
You didn't like it?
Sounds.
Okay.
No, I don't like it so much.
Okay.
I mean, you can do it, but
we could read them.
I read it a long time ago, but there is a lot of tricky things, and when you read it later, it's not so auspicious. But anyhow, you can do it.
So who is Seth? How about maybe we start there?
Seems like I'm beyond that book.
No,
kind of entity.
An entity.
Well,
an entity. You don't know whom he is, but he speaks for.
Right.
He says he said. So I don't like when an entity is going through a book. We don't know who they are. You cannot verify if they really are who they are. That's why I don't like so much. That's why I don't like such books, because people say, yeah, but you can verify whether they're good or not. You cannot. I mean, I'm quite sorry. I'm not sorry. That's my down to earth. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that what's that Mayan king guy who started the chopping heads and cutting out hearts? What's his name?
The Aztec king?
Yeah.
Montezuma. He was the last emperor of the Aztecs.
Montezuma, the guy who started the sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
He said that Quetzalcoatl spoke through him and told him to do that. But Quetzalcoatl was always a benevolent, light god. So, like you were just saying, it could have been an entity saying, I'm Quetzalcoatl, but you know what I mean?
Did you see Graham Hancock's talk about Montezuma and Cortez and his explanation for all of that they were both in connection? Gerard, I know you saw it, in connection with a demon.
Yeah.
And it was a demon speaking to them.
Yes.
Because that's their level. You don't know in which level you are, and on what level you are, you attract that kind of entity.
And
therefore
gospel, by their fruits, by their actions, shall you know them.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know.
Yeah.
So I'm attracted to squirrels and stuff. Squirrels and rabbits. 4 more years to get a bear.
Good. I hope we do, because I like squirrels and rabbits, and little woodland creatures.
When I
Take them into the desert.
When I think of stuff like this, like I always sit back and I wonder, like, how does it make sense on our level, right? Do we pretend to be others that others will follow? Do men pretend to be gods? Of course we do. Do men pretend to be someone else? Do telemarketers?
Men have pretended to be gods.
Pretending is we are the great pretenders. Like, pretending is how you get a blind following to do something, right? And we can not even touch politics and just go to like telemarketers, right? People call, I call someone, I need some help with something. Like, is this Comcast or whatever? And like, yeah, this is Comcast. I'm like, this is John from Texas. I'm like, are you in Texas? Like, yes, this is John from Texas. I'm like, you are not in no damn Texas. Yes, this is John Tunstone. Your last name is not Tunstone. What city you in? I'm in Houston. It's all nice and sunny out there. I'm like, no, you're not. But
you're in Bangalore, in India.
I'm not going to
say.
Right.
Well, so outside of the fact that I had a whole bunch of people who work for me in Bangalore, India, we're not going to touch that. But pretending is how you gain that following, right? Like the leaders of the Ku Klux Klan and the leaders of Black Lives Matter. They all got the same things in common, right? They're trying to retire on a problem that they don't actually want fixed, right? And so look at the Grand Dragons of the Ku Klux Klan. They live in mansions, and they're mostly supported by poor, broke people. And look at the leaders of Black Lives Matter. The woman, she had like 3 houses, and one is like a couple $1 million, and it's all in an all-white neighborhood, right? And she's being supported by mostly poor people. And so it's pretending where the profit is. And so anyway, my point was that when I think of things like this, that I've never seen a demon, that now that I know of, right? I've never seen an alien, not that I know of. But when I think about things, I think about it in terms of, does it make sense in how the world works the way? And it does. That if you come here and you're from another dimension, you're a demon, you're in, whatever you are going to pretend to speak for something else, because that's how you gain following. Hashtag the Pope speaking for God.
Yeah. Hashtag the politicians who are possessed by those. I
have no doubt that many are. Directly possessed.
They're possessed. That's why it's like, okay, that's why I like more initiation and people who have the memory of I like those books, because they had a very, very big evolution. But doesn't mean that there is no truth in those books, but you don't know where they want to pull you.
Another thing is when you come across something like that, does what they have to say line up consistently with all of this stuff?
Right.
And all of the other great world teachings that are all at the root in agreement with each other. Do those channeled things, whatever they are, line up consistently with the basic core principles of our spiritual inheritance around the world? That's another way that I have of separating the wheat from the chaff. Does that make sense?
It does, as my light is falling.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to replace my lavender tea. I'm sorry.
So this is going to be a little controversial, but for some people, but because we're talking about pretending and men that pretend to be God, right? But you know what's crazy? Jesus never ever said he was God. He said that he was the son of God. But he also said that we were all the sons and daughters of God. Yeah. And
I and the Father are one. Be you one with me as I am one with the Father.
Right. And
One.
he
All is
also,
one.
I forget where, but it says something about, he says, I never called myself God. You called me that.
Yes. Your words, not mine.
Right. So here's a guy who didn't pretend to be God. And
But he
then
was God.
somehow they got us all to worship him as God.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
I want to go back to.
He was definitely like a divinely connected person, but yeah, he wasn't God. And
Alan Watts said that the teaching of Jesus became the teaching about Jesus.
Right. Yes.
The person became more important than the teaching did.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
And this is where we're going with.
We were worshiping a false idol.
Yeah.
Well, but so why? Because we lack critical thought. The same reason why we're in today's mess that we're in is because people don't think, or they don't know how to think. And I want to swing back to
and that's why they went after education.
I want to swing back to your point on like the ability to correlate information to understand something that might be unpopular. Right.
Yeah.
Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm an alien guy. You know, I'm more fascinated by what's up there than the little silly hairless monkeys running around down here chasing each other's tail. Because now it actually makes sense to me that this is a great secret that's kept from us stupid people or ignorant people. Is that from the beginnings of time, we've been told that the gods came from up there. And finally, by now, when you correlate all the information from all of the ancient popular cultures who all looked up and saying that the gods came from the heavens, that they were not gods. And it should be obvious to us now when you correlate all these stories. And as much as I believe that the majority of stuff that people see is just the Pentagon, it's just Russia, it's just China, it's just, you know, the craft, the technology that is kept from us, that we have never been alone. We're stupid. We're not alone. You know, but you have to correlate all that information to understand. But once again, it's the failing of it's the success of the education system, the indoctrination system, that people lack critical thought. They've got these amazing brains that can connect all these neurons and dendrite connections and literally change on a fly as it needs to. But they need a way to make people emotional. They need to keep slavery alive.
Yeah.
They need to keep, poverty and artificial state. They need to keep people emotional. It's the only way you break an intellectual.
Yeah. But I have to, I'm the one who is is going with the gods. We are human beings. We don't have the brains of gods, and we humanize gods, but we are not on that level. So that's why, you have to see the Vedas. You have to learn about Krishna. You have to learn about all those the deities. I mean, if you read the Indian ancient deity story, which are written for real, which in those ancient times they appeared many times for people who are praying, and but they have that's like people ask me, ask the guru, and I think this is not true, and then she said, do you have the brain of God? No, she said. So how can you think the way they think? That's why, I mean, I don't think we have to humanize gods, but whom we see for God is different. I mean, how we see them is not right, but for me, they're gods. They're gods. I mean, who created this earth? In heaven's sake, who created the tree? Who created the leaf? Who created all those beautiful things? Not human beings. I mean, you have to be humble in that. And I think, come on, guys. For me, it's very common sense that there are gods. I mean, there is a God as a just almighty one. We can call it energy or whatever it is, but it's the source which makes everything living. And that is not us. We are a part of it, but it's not us, I think. I mean, it's not, we are not the source. We are in it, but we are not the source. I mean, I don't know. That's why it's the gospel for me. God, I don't have a problem to believe in God, actually.
I don't
Not
either.
when I study the Vedas. No.
Here's the analogy that I appreciate, and I failed to remember where I got it from, but that we're all cells within God's brain, right? Like, and there are some different cells have different purposes, right? You have some cells that are highly evolved. There might be aliens that are millions of years old. You have other cells that have special features and abilities, like Christ and Muhammad and whoever else, Quetzalcoatl. Then you have us, the cells that, we really don't do much. We're here. We have potential. We can become something great, but we're still a part of this great mind.
And we can, so, that's true. We
so
can sorry, we can become realized, like we can become godlike, but we are not God yet.
No.
We can become. We're in the process of becoming, like Jesus said, you can come to the level you can create universes by universes, but I don't think we did. We are not yet there, because we're not yet God realized. How do you say that? That's what they say. God realized. I don't know how to say it in better words, but something in that kind of evolution. But the ones their civilizations were extremely high evolved, like the aliens. I mean, like Stephen Greer, they're like very close to that. That we call God, probably more closer than we are.
They're gods on many levels, right? To many people right now, Bill Gates is a god.
Yeah.
Fauci is a god, right? To many people right now, they're waiting on their saviors to tell them what to do next. And they're gods on all different. TV is God to people. Their politics is God to them. Their politicians are demigods and gods to them. So they're gods on multiple levels. Right. And so I think one of the problems is the word God. It doesn't mean the same thing to anybody.
Yeah, true.
Right? I think that's the biggest problem.
And because of that, Gerard, that's why we get into so many. That's why theologians get into so many arguments. But the contemplative side. Let me give you an example. There was a big ecumenical, which means across religions, an ecumenical conference. They have them regularly all the time. There was one in the 70s. East, West. Buddhists. Christians, and a whole bunch of other religious figures, and the theologians from all over kind of didn't get along, but the monks, East and West, had a great time. Now, what does that tell you? It tells me that the ones with a mental framework in their mind of what religion is.
Yeah, religion is it's not spirituality.
Thought, because that divides people.
Yeah,
those focused on self-development, the monks
and oneness.
Yes, they all got along. Why? Because they realized, they might have some categorical issues like, what is God, what is the Buddha, what is enlightenment and all that. But what they all knew was true was that you don't get there until you get here.
Yeah. And another good example in initiation. So there God realized those from initiation, the Egypt day. Yeah. But I still have that awe for the source. And they totally got realized because they're half deities of deities, and but they still talk. I mean, if in that Amenhotep, who is it? He's still in awe for the source. That's why I think, for me, is it then okay? But they got realized totally. They totally got realized.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's
that all the powers. I mean, to create life, to create they used it for the benevolent And that's why we are not yet there, because we will not use it for the benevolent, like like in Atlantis, they got in the wrong hands the powers they had,
Right.
and because they were not on that evolution in kind of love and truth, and in that higher awareness and higher vibration, but they saw the power and they just had still that low level need for power and greed and want to control, like now the cabal here does. They want all the powers, but they don't have that love. I mean, what are you? What is this in the Bible? You can have all the powers of the world, but if you don't have love, you're nothing, or something. I mean, that's the kind of saying in the scripture, whatever. I mean,
well, I was gonna say too, like, so false idols, whatever. And we were talking about like Bill Gates, whatever, being God or whatever. I hate you saying that. But, it's yucky. But yeah, but they don't have all the power lies in false cities. You know what I mean? Like a fiat currency system, and in the matter, and in what tools they can build or own for control.
Yeah.
None of that power just comes naturally from their being.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? From their actions or heart, or you know what I mean? Like all that power isn't real. It's material world power. And I was gonna say too, like the Garden of Eden. If we think of it as like this place or something, but Graham Hancock is saying, like, what if Earth is the Garden of Eden? You know how, like, you say, like, multiple lives and coming back again and ascending and getting to a next level. Well, what if the aliens, other dimensional realm beings, whatever, what if, like, this is the Garden of Eden, right? This is the stage of life where life begins, right? And then, so you can either mess up but not real bad and do this again, or like mess up bad and you're coming back as like dirt or something, and or you can like extend to the next level, which may be like Sirius or some galaxy far away. And because we always kind of think small, even in transcending, we think small as just humans. What if the next level is like a 10-foot purple dude with 5 arms? Like, we don't know. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know.
That's also human thinking.
What kind of dreams do you have? Whoa. We're not going to just let that slide. No, we aren't going to let no, sir. This is not the Let It Slide show. What kind of dreams you having when you got 10-foot dudes with 8 arms? What kind of fantasy?
5 arms.
Shiva.
What kind of parts? And if he has 8 arms in your dream, how many? Yeah. So we're gonna stop on this. No, we're gonna just not. The Lord have mercy.
Okay, Anyhow, just wanted to say,
picturing a Simpsons episode where the 2 aliens are there and they got all the tentacles.
Send blessings down on Susan. Just send them down. She's having
where is
some
he
sort of.
She's
having.
I need them.
She's having Courtney dreams. Like, send something down. Lord, and got to be purple too. Can't just be a regular color. Got to be purple. So let me get back to what Jonathan. So, and all of y'all said something this is crazy. This is why we can't do this. We have to stop doing these talks because this could last 8 hours. Everybody says something that's just freaking sexy in my mind. And I'm like, So going back to what Jonathan said, right? This is why I resonate with the beliefs of the East more than anything else now in my older ages.
Right.
Because to be more with the dogmatic religions, you have to have a philosophy of your right. You have to have that arrogance of I'm right. And if you don't follow me, I'm going to kill you, or you're going to go to hell.
That's the institution, though.
You're right.
That is the institution.
It's right, the institution. And so I'm more of that sovereignty, freedom philosophy that's not, domination by force. And in reality of accepting that I don't know who God is. And I'm pretty damn sure everybody I know doesn't know who God is.
No.
And I'm fine with that. right? That's not worth war. I'm not picking up no sword. I'm not going to pick up a rock and throw it at somebody because of what they think God might be or might not be. And so I resonate with the East, right? You know, and I think of the Garden of Eden, right? What is the Garden of Eden? What if the Garden of Eden is not even on Earth? What if the Garden of Eden is the solar system? What if the Garden of Eden is our dimension? What if there are Garden of Edens on different levels, that there are these different gods at different levels that set up different things in this simulation because they're ahead of us and they're millions or billions or whatever years in front of us, and they set up these different creations and we end up worshiping another cell in the mind of God, but God is like this greater programming operating system infrastructure that allows creatures to evolve, create planets, create solar systems, create dimensions, create universes. And at every level, you got all these different guys. Like all of this is just a simulation of a creation. And I don't know. And that's why I would never go to war with anybody over anything. Because to have the arrogance and the ignorance to think that you know something that obviously none of us knows is retardedly toddler-ish. It's crazy. But I resonate with the East. Back to the point. And this is why I do follow more of their teachings nowadays, because they're based in humility, the humility that Christ taught. Christ Henderson, she teaches nasty stuff because her and Will, they don't know how to keep that stuff in their pocket.
They're awesome. Wait. Garden of Eden, right? So real quick, they did like really close up microscopic, whatever pictures of human cells. They look like freaking gardens. What are the Garden of Eden is our bodies that we're supposed to grow and take care of and love in order to
as above, so below.
Right.
As within, so without. Everything is a mirror of everything else.
Yeah.
And what if somebody wants to?
They're pretty.
And what if somebody wants to change the fruits in your garden by modifying your DNA?
Then you get a donut every day for you.
And stickers for your.
We get an American donut. We don't have donuts here.
Donuts here and now weed if you go to New York. That's right.
They're giving weed for donuts?
I'm still alive.
They're giving weeds for donuts in New York?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Dang. Assuming everybody here knows what donuts are. You got to watch the show. If you don't watch the show, then you don't know what donuts are. And by the way, this is lavender tea. They were asking what they thought. They thought it was Kool-Aid. No, this is lavender tea. See, this is what they teach in the East.
Gerard's starting a cult.
Turn you into caterpillar, Gerard.
First of all, Gerard already has a cult. All right. I'm told this on a daily basis. I get inboxes every damn day about my weird friends and why they act like they're a cult. They are a cult. It's a cult with no leadership. It's the most disobedient cult that's ignorant, that don't follow no damn leader. But I already got a cult. It just ain't my cult. They just all do their own thing. But this is lavender. This is lavender and dandelion tea. Doesn't that look delicious, y'all? That's just delicious.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I act a little loopy. That's just because I'm
got a big old mug for it too.
You got to drink a lot of tea. It's hard times, John. Yeah. Hard times, brother. In this world, you got to sometimes drink a lot of tea.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? What else is crazy? So humans have the creative ability and the power to manifest anything they can think of and manifest it into reality. And we chose Dr. Fauci face masks and donuts. That's what we chose.
See? That's why we are such good gods.
You have such an interesting way of explaining why I'd rather go live with javelinas and mountain lions and bears and alligators and rattlesnakes than to deal with these people. That's why. Because it is so damn ridiculous what people over the age of 2 now believe. It's that crazy. But I think I don't
even think they believe it. I think they're just so programmed and used to having to follow some kind of direction from somebody else because they don't know themselves and trust themselves enough to evaluate it for themselves.
Matrix.
Matrix. But so the beautiful thing, which I always have to try to put some sunshine on this thing, not like how my friends do that sunshine anus thing. They still do that, or they stopped doing that.
It's not anymore in fashion. It's no fashion anymore.
It's not fashion no more. Good.
It's out of fashion.
People that go outside to show your butthole to people.
That's wonderful because the aliens, because they up there and they're taking pictures down here, and the last thing they want is to see you doing that thing.
Those poor aliens.
But to put some sunshine on that conversation. So the beautiful thing is, though, every day in the Matrix, less people believe in the Matrix than yesterday. Less people believe in donuts today than yesterday. There are more anti-donut people and questioning donut people than pro-donut people every single day. People are asking the critical questions. If what you say is true about donuts, why do you censor the information? Science stands on its own. It doesn't need your help.
Right.
Give me all the data and let science speak for itself. And so every single day, they're making more anti-donut people than pro-donut people. It's a beautiful time to be alive. I said this a year ago, that this is going to be the greatest vindication of little children who've been forced to take donuts and ended up with that brain debilitating disease that adults who know damn better have been fighting against having these donuts investigated.
Yeah.
It's vindicating those families and it's vindicating those children. And now we can see where this is going. And to me, I think it's going to completely reform the donut industry, or it's going to make donuts completely illegal, or nobody's going to have faith in donuts no more.
Yeah,
which
but
is good.
now Fauci was actually promoting donuts for little children.
Yep. Biden said it's crucial to get children back.
And it's good. You got to let psychopaths say psychopathic things. It's a good thing, because as people connect the dots, once again, it's gonna change everything. The truth has to be so blaringly, evilly obvious that people will actually change their behavior, because it's obvious that person is not who they say they are. It has to go this way.
Yeah, as someone that studies a lot of literature, I've and popular stuff too, like Tolkien, like J.K. Rowling, like all of these stories of a Dark Lord. What causes the Dark Lord to fall? He goes too far.
Yeah,
and then there is a massive groundswell against him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That is what we're going to
That will happen. Yeah, that will happen at the cost of many lives, though. I think because
I think so.
Wait till October. Wait till the donuts get more result of a new kind of cold. How they will react.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. October's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Karen Hamaker. You have to see Karen Hamaker, the astrologer from Holland. She never looks. She's always like neutral and quite calm and grounded and can tell everything with the. But when she talked about October for now coming, I never saw her so much like, kind of wow. That there must be something really big coming in October. And it's astrology. But it's with Eris. Eris is not a planet, but it's the sister of, I think it's
Mars.
It's the sister of the Mars. Yeah, the sister. And then we have, and there is a new planet, Charlico. No, it's not. It's a centaur. It's the wife of Chiron, and she's the one who she will take the space to come back. The mythology is she's a nymph. She's a mermaid, kind of mermaid-like. So there you are with your mermaids, Gerard. You like mermaids. I like Charlico is a mermaid, and
every man likes mermaids, Christine.
She's the center to keep everything around her calm. So actually she's the power within to witness, to dissolve the atrocities what's happening around her. It's really beautiful. I will send it to you, Susan. I
was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, because we have to talk about that in the different houses. It's very interesting, but I have to study a bit because I have to get the meaning more. But actually she's the women's side, the feminine, who supports the, I mean, who gives the power silently to the male side so that they can fight actually
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
protect the environment. Very, very beautiful. But she's
and I like Ares, the sister of Mars, well, because she's like a warrior, but like, yeah, she'll get it done. Like, like
get it done,
there's
yeah.
fight to fight. She will fight it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's because, like, in my opinion, the most people I see at the stores not wearing masks and standing up are women, way more than men.
Yeah, true. Yeah, wait, we were,
Yeah.
really, yeah.
And
can we get serious for a moment, and can we talk about mermaids? I have a mermaid theory.
Real quick, Gerard, you know mermaids show you their boobs and then drag you down to your death under the ocean, right? So
I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I have no problems with that. I have no problems with this, Susan. I'm sorry, you're talking to the wrong person. Y'all, women, y'all totally underestimate the power that y'all have over us. I think y'all totally underestimate it. Listen, if it's the right mermaid, Jonathan, you can answer the question. If it's the right mermaid and they look the right way and it's the rightness is the rightness, right? Look, I'm okay. This is worth dying for. Go on, take me. So you're talking to the wrong person. So So we go is Robert Walker? No, Robert Walker. He done left. Y'all said Ty, so I can mention Ty. Yeah. Ty had a great point when it came to this, right?
Yeah.
He said during the whole damn thing, not only in Florida did they didn't stop a damn thing. They've been doing the damn thing since the very. He's like, I got friends that ain't never stopped doing lines of cocaine and meth and whatever else, and then they put a mask on. No, but he said they partied the whole time, right? People live their lives. So you just think about people who go to bar every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. They don't protect themselves. They meet people. They get drunk. They have fun. They do what they want. You can get things that'll take your life. And unfortunately, men are that controlled by some of this stuff. But no, let me. I don't go down that road. So people risk their life for boobies all the damn time. Happens every day.
Not me. Not for me.
I want to do mermaid theory. Did I tell y'all my mermaid theory? Can I mention my mermaid theory?
Yeah, I do remember mermaid theory. I will look in the chart where your cherry claw is resisting, so we might give you some advice. We'll talk about that, Susan. That's very interesting how she works in the chart. Because now, for the future, just one moment, you can back to your mermaid. The other planets, the centaurs, is going to be much more important than Venus, Mars, and all that. From the older ancient, more the older astrology. The new things like these are going to be more and more important, like Chiron, like Charlico, the centaurs, Nessus. That's the new astrology actually, and they're very interesting because centaur is the power. They're like in the Kuiper belt. How do you call it in English? Beyond the planets of Pluto, there is a belt, the Kuiper belt, astronomical.
Kuiper belt.
Yeah, they come from there, so that's even higher. But it's interesting for another time. But anyhow, there she comes from that. She lives there. So back to your mermaid.
She's a mermaid.
Between Mars.
She's a mermaid.
Yeah,
she's a mermaid.
You have a phone number?
I will give the one in your chart. I have pictures from.
Tell her, I want to send her a text. Look, I'm sorry. That's just how it is with men. I'm sorry. We're out fishing or something, and and she could be ugly too. She could be the most ugliest, fattest mermaid, just unattractive in every way we can think of, with just hair and knots on her face and all kind of stuff. And she just come out there flapping that tail like this. Men, every single man is like, you know what? I have not, sorry. So can I do my mermaid theory? Y'all want to hear my mermaid theory? I feel like y'all don't want to hear my mermaid theory. I feel like y'all don't even care.
I feel like
I want to hear.
I feel like not a lot of no, it does not.
Splash with how is it?
Well, all men have nipples, so all men are actually women anyway. And I like to say that once a week, and I didn't get my chance to say that, so I said all men started as women anyway, and then we had to change. No, like listen, okay, I'll be real quick with it. Every world is a water world, right? Every world has an ocean. Every world doesn't have land. The majority of worlds everywhere in the solar system are frozen because they're too far from their sun. So they all have subterranean oceans, or they have oceans under the ice, like Europa. So the vast majority, trust the mermaid science, people, listen to this. If the vast majority of surfaces where life has water, where there's liquid water, is underwater, then the vast majority of intelligent life in our solar systems and every solar system in the universe would be aquatic. Mermaids.
Yeah, bro. Maybe there's something to
mermaids definitely exist on Earth. I know
mermaids.
That. Yes. Well, I believe that.
And so, what are the vast majority of aliens? Mermaids. Where would they go first? To the ocean. They're not going to come to the land. We don't go to the oceans to look for things like us. If things are coming here, the vast majority go straight to the ocean. That's my mermaid theory. I mean, just if you do the statistics, the vast majority of intelligent life in the universe would all be aquatic. And this goes back to Star Trek, because I am a Trekkie. Hang on, let me do that. All the Trekkies in the audience. The vast majority of the search for Spock, after that, the aliens came back looking for the whales, which are intelligent life, which are mermaids. And yes, they do have nipples, but whales are mermaids.
I was going to say orcas, right? So their brains, because, like intuition has a lot to do with emotion and feeling, right? And an orca, processing center in your brain that deals with emotions and feelings.
The whales do. The whales.
Yeah, theirs are, well, of course they're bigger than ours, but they process on a level that's beyond ours. They can process emotions better than humans can. Yeah.
Mermaids. Boom. Mic drop. Boom. No, mermaids do not have to have breastises. That's just a fun discussion. They don't have to have hair. The majority of intelligent life everywhere is aquatic. Okay. Think about the octopus. The octopus has been figuring things out long before we even, knew how to make fire. For millions of years. The octopus is right. They're problem solvers. They are phenomenal problem solvers.
Climbing up on the beach and making fire? Where'd you hear this one, dude?
Well, no, I think it went that far. I mean, they know how to go in a Coke bottle and get some food.
Yeah, but every fish knows how to get food. I mean, it's not.
Well, no, because the intelligence in the octopus, like they eventually learn how to change their skin so it fits in with their environments. But like the problem, like if you ever get bored, like just go out and do searches for like octopuses problem solving. Like they are phenomenal problem solvers. Like the way they even change the patterns on their skin. If you put them over a checkerboard, they'll change their patterns to match the checkerboard.
Like lizards.
They learn and they remember and they know where food is. And this goes back to the ancient mariners, right? And ancient knowledge too. When the mariners used to come back, they're like, dude, I ain't never going out there again. Why? Because there's octopuses out there, they big as boats, and they know that we are inside, and they literally grab the boat, stick their tentacles inside, and pull people out and eat them, right? So we know, and that was all fairy tale to the giant squid.
They're not reptilians. They're freaking octopuses. I figured it out. Politicians. They want us to think they're reptilians. That's why that reptilian thing's going around. They're octopuses.
Aren't the aliens in the Simpsons episodes like squids? Like octopuses?
Yeah, if you cut one off, another one comes back. Hydra. Oh, I got all the programming. I'm figuring it out.
The spaghetti monster, the spaghetti god. Y'all know the spaghetti god people. Have y'all met them? We have a few friends here. The spaghetti god church. They believe the spaghetti god, and the spaghetti god looks like an octopus. Facts, people. Hashtag facts.
If it kills us, it is going to kill us, so we got to break it.
Oh, Lord. You know, we didn't get over the Native American anything. Y'all know that, right?
Oh my God, we're just.
I'm not even sure what just happened. I mean, we did ancient knowledge. It's ancient, it's knowledgeable, knowledge, information, but we didn't do the Native American book at all. Is that bad or is that good?
I don't know. Do you guys want me to read something or
something
or what? Christine, what do you say?
Yeah, do.
Technically, if we were going to leave this up to the audience this time around, then I guess
we didn't answer.
We didn't get any votes.
They're talking about gray aliens. Look, Riley, in which Riley is high, and I appreciate Riley in not saying that. I told her last video, I said, Riley, you don't have to come in the room and tell anybody that you're high, girl. We know. We see your name. We know you already.
It's a secret by now, Riley.
And to a degree, she's smart because she won't come on Facebook not high, you know. And maybe we need to learn from Riley a little bit that maybe Facebook isn't as bad if you're high. So thank you, Riley, for not telling us that you're high. She said tall, gray skins change from blue to green like an octopus. Don't they consider octopus DNA alien? Yes. And I think that was at a Harvard University professor who started that. It was one of those universities, one of the elite one of the ivory tower universities, whatever. It had that theory that octopus were aliens, that their DNA came from somewhere else, that it doesn't fit in here.
My octopus teacher.
Yeah. Okay.
And somebody asked if I had heard of that.
Is it a show? Is it a movie?
Yeah.
I'm a conspiracy theorist for real.
And octopus are shapeshifters. Look what Christ said.
Yes.
Octopus are shapeshifters. They are skinwalkers. They literally change their shapes. And if octopus could learn to change their shape, do you not think that creatures that live on the land eventually would learn how to change their shape too? And this is getting back to Native American knowledge, right?
Yeah, the old Native Americans could do that. Old African knowledge, shamans, they could shapeshift from a bird to a human and another way around. They could.
And Barbara Peters asked if I had a splash fascination or something fetish, and the answer is yes. Every boy in the 80s had an 80s. I can't remember any of my teachers, but Barbara Peters, I remember her name is Daryl Hannah. Everybody knows every man in the 80s. We had the poster. We know exactly. Listen.
What was her mermaid name?
See? Thank you. Right. Exactly. Y'all know. That's right, because you seen the movie. Her real name.
Madison.
No, but that was her Earth name. That was not her name. That was her name. Everybody knows that. Stop that. Come here with your fake hashtag fake Susan News.
Okay,
fake news.
Oh.
All right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll do comments because this is going to get silly.
Okay.
All right. Is that lavender ice
I'm
lace
not going to share
with
this.
peyote? It's just like Nancy Brooker. It's lavender tea and some dandelions in here. It's marigolds because they're good for your eyesight, and some other minerals and nutrients that I won't describe that came from great plants. But that's about it. And it's made by a nice man. It's a company, and I forgot his first name, but his last name is Daniels. He makes delicious, healthy beverages for human beings to make it through the apocalypse.
Okay, Jonathan's gonna read something deep, hopefully.
It better be deep because this is
That is weird.
Yeah, this is weird.
It's kind of weird. I mean, I'm not going to share this video. It's too crazy.
we started with 8-year-old Chinese karate kids invading America.
Yes.
They shifted.
Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones. Yes, please. I want that to happen, please. And first of all, Christine, and don't get all high and mighty because I believe Daryl Hannah came from Belgium. Is she from Belgium?
I don't know. I like it. I like her actually. She's married to she was married to how is that other actor who's now married with Catherine anyhow.
Yeah.
Well, divorces happen. Men ain't worried about that. We don't care nothing about that. We just need to.
Yeah, Daryl Hannah. I don't know if she comes from Belgium. I thought she was from. I have no idea. I can look it up. She
She's
looks
from
like Swede is a Holland from Holland. She could
Oh,
be from
okay.
Holland.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But that's close enough for American men. That's close enough. That's
Yeah, that's my neighbor.
yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
All right, now we're gonna do something.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
All right, so
one page.
I'm gonna go ahead and read the first chapter out of Sunmen of the Americas, and this is the chapter. The chapter title is called "The Coming of the Sunmen," and it is kind of a general description of the
Courtney's dream.
the establishment of ancient secret societies. Not secret society. They weren't secret back then. They were mystery schools. And the establishment of teaching around the world and how it was placed in the Americas as well. Okay. So this is called The Coming of the Sunmen. I have known White Eagle all my life, or so it seems to me now. In fact, he first made himself known to me when I was quite young. I have a vivid memory of seeing, before I fell asleep at night, what I now know to be a circle of Indians standing around my bed. I knew they were my friends because they were so kind and looked at me with gentle, smiling faces. They wore bright colors, and I felt happy and contented, with nothing to fear, with them around me. Intuitively, I knew they belonged to me, that they were my people, my family. There was one among the group, taller and more impressive than the rest, and he was dressed all in white. This stately old Indian chief would take my dreaming self into the land where lived the spirits of the trees, of the air, of the water, a land of sunlight and happiness. And I came to know and love him very well. Later, he revealed himself as White Eagle, my spiritual guide and teacher in this life, and told me of the work we had to do together. Through him, I became familiar with the wisdom of the Indians, and he awakened memories for me of my life as an American Indian in the distant past. We lived close to the Great Spirit in those Indian days, and even as children, we were taught about the laws of God, the Great Spirit, and shown how to live in harmony with them. We understood that we were just a small part of a vast brotherhood, which embraced all creatures on earth and in the etheric world. A brother, that's the ether, and a brotherhood which extended to include other worlds, other planets. How far back this life was, I cannot judge, but I feel it was long, long ago. Yet, whenever I touch this level of consciousness, this memory, I am in the present as well as the past and the future. It is all one. There is no time. But in memory, I go back once again to the life I was an Indian girl living with my family near a swift moving river. It all comes back to me so vividly. I can hear the rush of water and with it an overwhelming feeling of power. I feel so strong, and this great power rushes in through me. I learn of the power of water, its cleansing and healing property. I remember seeing an injured man carried down to be bathed in the water. I saw the stemming of the flow of blood, the swift healing of the wound, as if by some magical power, as it was immersed in the water. Some thought it was the man's faith which healed him, but I was told by my Indian father that the healing power in the running water performed the miracle. In those days, I remember being taught by our chief as we sat in a large circle round the altar fire that there was healing in all the four elements. We learnt to look up into the sky and trace the movement of the clouds and see the forms of the spirits of the air. We looked for the pictures which formed in the clouds and learnt lessons from the changing of the scene. The chief explained to us how the wise men could work with the nature spirits and bring rain to the parched earth. In fact, we young ones watched our elders do this. We were taught to look at the animals and birds, trees and bushes and flowers, and even the very stones, and see the Great Spirit in them. And so we loved them and would do nothing to harm them. We were taught that the air and water were as brothers to us, because without them, life could not continue on the earth, nor could we live without the light and warmth of the sun, and the earth was our mother. These elements were part of our very life, part of ourselves. The fruits and berries, and even the roots of certain plants which were used for food could not grow without the life-giving power of the sun and the elements. And so we were taught to worship the life givers, the earth, air, fire, and water. I remember how we used to sit in a circle with the imaginary 4 arms of a cross, and in the center of the cross, the wood fire burnt very brightly. We learned that when the flame ignited the wood, the sunlight imprisoned in the wood was released for the many needs of human life. As we sat round the fire in a circle, we learned many of the secrets of nature and of the laws of the Great Spirit, which had been passed. Yeah.
That was my dog.
Oh.
He said, he's right. He said,
all right.
He was agreeing. He's gone.
He
with
agrees.
you,
Yeah, he agrees.
She's opening the door.
As
Amen.
we sat, huh?
Amen. Amen. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Okay.
You know, Jonathan spoke canine. We had no idea. So we learned it every day.
Gerard, my Chinese zodiac is the dog. I'm the year of the dog. So
yes, yeah, the spirit of everything. Because you were like, huh? What? Huh?
What?
You was a lemonade? What you need? What you? You had a lot of things there, though. I don't know if we want to touch on anything yet.
I don't know. Do you guys have anything to add?
Well, you and I had a brief conversation about Wilhelm Reich, right?
Yeah.
And making it rain. And this idea that, you know, oh, it's crazy to make it rain. And we know we have rain making technology. We've had that for a very long time. So I find that to be fascinating. It makes it obvious what they knew back then, how, you know, rain, air, fire, and land became gods to them, because all life came from that. Not unlike all saving in life today is coming from Fauci and Bill Gates for some people.
Yeah, but then they learned how to work with those elements, and that is if you're totally in harmony with nature, they work for you. You can ask them. That's Native American. It's also what my guru told. If you're totally in line with harmony, you can ask for rain when you need it. You can ask for everything in sunshine. Nature will listen to you, but you have to be totally in union. I mean, with those elements.
Yeah. Well, I believe that, and plus, like ritual. I know it kind of is like a weird connotation word, but like cooperative magic or whatever. The rain dances, when you have multiple people focusing on the same thing, doing a rain dance, you know, in harmony with nature, and losing
they vibrate on the same
one.
They vibrate on the same energy as that element, and that's why it works for you. Do you know the book? There's a nice book from John Forrester Carter about Geronimo, and then Geronimo, the leader of the Apache, I think, who tried to save his Apache. So, but the positive side, because he was pictured as a very cruel, killer, but in the white word, anyhow. But he writes so beautiful about Geronimo and how he had kind of powers, and he could work with the elements, so that when the soldiers came, he created fog so that they got lost in the forest or in the mountains. So all of a sudden he worked, and he escaped all the time, the soldiers. But on the end, he surrendered because he was tired, not because he couldn't escape, but he was totally tired. He couldn't save his people. There was no food and things like that. But he worked totally with the elements of nature. and it was Geronimo, and it's from John Forrester Carter. And another book of him is like Little Big Tree, the education of how Native American.
Education of Little Big Tree.
Oh,
And
beautiful!
it is a beautiful book. Parts of it were made up.
Yeah, but okay, but doesn't matter.
There was a big academic stink about that back in the 80s. I don't give a shit. It's a great book.
Little Big Tree.
Education of Little Tree.
Big Tree.
No.
Yeah, maybe he got it from comments.
Let me put it in comments. It's called The Education of Little
maybe
Tree.
his parents
by
gave
Forrest
it
Carter.
because of that book. Yeah, could be.
Okay.
No, it's a beautiful book. It's like how you should educate a child.
It's amazing.
How the best way to educate children, read that book. It's amazing.
Part of
I lost it.
Stink is because the author was a former KKK member, which was a huge, huge controversy. But read the book, make up your own mind.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah. I don't want to get involved in all that.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
If we're reincarnating, we probably all were at some point in time.
Yeah,
so, you know.
Well,
We've all been masters and slaves.
Yeah.
Every civilization has slaves, and every civilization has had masters. So at some point in time, people finally got to lay down that sword and
thank you.
Yeah.
And who cares who's giving the message, right? Because if it's a shitty message that you don't like, oh well, then just disregard it. Like, you know what I mean? Move on. You don't have to fight about it because you heard something you didn't like. I hear stuff I don't like all the time. I don't argue about it. What's the point in that? I just, all right, whatever, and move on, right? But if you're really trying to, like, I don't know, figure something out or whatever, or you know, like, I want to figure out how the universe works. Right. That's my mission. But I'm trying. But so I'm going to take information from anything, anywhere, whether I like you or not, whether you're, you know, black, white, racist, young, old, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean I have to agree with it or hold on to it, or, you know what I mean? Information is information. What I do with it is what makes it.
Well,
valid,
see, I think what you just explained is, you know, the wisdom of what we all came from, right? We came from very powerful, wise people. They didn't give two damns about the source. If you ran into camp and said, hey, you know, tornado's coming, storm is coming, bears are coming, you listen to that. You just, oh, no, we don't like you. We don't like your skin, don't like your religion. We're going to stay here and get eaten by the bears. This is a good idea. Right.
Yeah. That's what's happening now.
Yeah.
Right. So what that leads me to what Susan said, linking up with what you were saying, Christine, about Geronimo, is so, and the other thing is George Washington was there were great beliefs about his paranormal abilities, but we won't go there. You can look into that. And so it's interesting that you say that about Geronimo, and that how he could call mists, which is just rain. I was thinking about rain circles. And just think about if you're not evolving, living in a time where wolves are hunting you, bears are hunting you, nature seems like it's out to kill you, other tribes are killing you. Would you go make a rain circle, put rocks in a circle, and like chant and pray and meditate for rain unless it actually worked? See, I think that what we do is we take our bullshizzle and we apply it to other civilizations in ancient times that, oh, because it doesn't work for us, and because we got all this spare time and safety, and, you know, we wouldn't do that. They wouldn't, right? If you're living in a time where you are literally surviving, you don't go make up bullshizzle like we do on Facebook. You don't go talking about mermaids and having fun like that. You do. You know, like everything you do is like you're either creating food or you're wasting food. You're building your tribe's strength or you're taking away from it. You don't do things that are bullshizzle like us. I'll sit here and talk aliens because it's fun. Because damn it, I can just press a button, the lights come on, right? I can turn a knob and water comes out. But back then, they didn't have time to waste. If they did something and it worked, they kept doing it. If they didn't do it, they wouldn't do it. And this is why sage is so popular now, because they knew sage worked back then. This is why the fever tree is getting popular now, which is back to Susan. Don't judge the source. When people tell you something smart, don't be stupid, right? Just because the guy in the White House you don't like tells you about the H word that I'm not allowed to say because it'll actually help you not die from getting a virus, came from an African tree called the fever tree that prevents people from dying from fevers. You know, and so, like, again, I think that the longest running human trial study that's ever existed came from the ancients, the shaman, the medicine men, from all the cultures, from all the people around the world. And this is why ancient knowledge is so important. That's why I love these discussions with you guys, is because we do need to look back because too much is lost. We are a species with amnesia, to quote Graham Hancock.
Well, that's like, so whatever. Because I go out back, right?
Did you just whatever me? Oh, whoa.
No, whatever myself.
Did you just whatever me? Did you not listen to anything that I just said? Is this Jonathan?
No,
I heard it.
What you said.
Did y'all get she was like, all right, whatever, you know.
I channeled my Ocasio-Cortez, okay?
I'm just playing.
Yeah, because like, okay, so I go out back, right? And I live in the suburbs, so I have neighbors, and like I do my praying stuff, right? And like I said, like I don't care if it's like everybody else's, it doesn't matter. I read and then I do what feels right for me, right? So so like I'm out back there at night, like with candles and going in circles and stuff, and my neighbors will be outside on their porch, and I know they think I'm crazy. I don't care, but my point is that like when you do that on a regular basis, it does change you, and it does seem like things manifest more.
Yeah,
because it becomes like a practice. It becomes a thing. It becomes like a part of you. Yeah.
You get a deeper understanding of it by doing it because you get more connected.
Yeah, like when I first started doing it, it was chaotic. It was so chaotic. My mind was so not focused. I had no idea what I was doing. But now it's very, I guess, ritual-like. It's very more structured.
I think, no, it's not. It's just understanding, like, because ritual you do because it's ritual. But many times rituals are not understanding. That's why you get that kind of ritualism, which is kind of rigid. But if you start understanding why you're doing it, then it gets deep. Then you get a connection, and then it's a kind of ritual, but a living ritual, not like going. I mean, rituals are good, but they have to be living, and they are living when you really know what you're doing. Otherwise, you just.
I think it's belief.
And it worked. I manifested some stuff.
It's belief, but even more, I think, deeper than belief.
I think it's belief. And this is, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but when you believe something, truly believe it, it is going to happen. And I think that's the power in ritual, is you repeat this activity over and over and over and over, and your subconscious starts to take in what your conscious wants to do. You reprogram yourself, and you know how they say like your being is existing in multiple dimensions at the same time. You're literally manifesting what you're doing, and part of the reason why is because in this example, Susan, we're not actually really here. This is your dimension. We are literally non-player characters, right? We are manifestations of your reality, and in my dimension, y'all are just manifestations of mine. You literally create new strings and new dimensions and new decision paths with everything that you believe and do and manifest. And so that's why I think it's so powerful. We don't even know what the human being is, but what we do know through the placebo and nocebo effect, that mind over matter has always been science. Your mind can change and alter matter. You can make your brain, you can heal your body, you can change activity of cells. you can, the whole telekinesis and all of that. Most of us don't know how to do it. We forgot how to do it. Like, why is it so hard for us to figure out how the pyramids were built? Well, because obviously they didn't go the route of transistors and resistors and electric, circuit boards. They went a spiritual route. They went with another type of technology that involved the human being utilizing their mind over matter.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. And yes, and we do believe that you're crazy, Susan. I'm sorry. If I was your neighbor and I saw you chanting in the woods, I'd call the police. I'd shoot. I'd listen. Y'all need to get over here. I don't know what that. She got some chickens and some goats out there. I see blood. Y'all need to get over here.
They used to disrupt my flow because they would come out and I'd be like, oh, I gotta stop. And now I'm just like, I don't care. It's about me.
That's what it's about. Is your world.
They can think I'm crazy all they want.
Is you manifest people to make you think that you're crazy because it teaches you something. And it reinforces your belief system.
Yeah, it's experience and belief. Otherwise, it's believing without just believing without experience is actually, doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, there has to be, faith. When does faith work? When you have experienced it work, and then you go deeper. I mean, that's what I believe.
Yeah, like
I believe that I have an experience that it worked, so I can do it. But if I keep doing something which doesn't have results, then you should stop doing it.
Yes.
So I think there's a problem. I think what you're trying to say, Christine, is something I think about. Because I believe at a conscious level doesn't mean I actually believe it at a spiritual level and I'm manifesting.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us, we have beliefs, but it's still largely bullshizzle to our spirit being, right? When your spirit being believes and knows what you do and the direction you want to go and what really can happen and be manifested, that's when it's manifested. Yeah, so like, me walking around, right, talking about how I believe in Christ or believe in this or believe in Buddha, Muhammad, whatever, that's just talk. That's just this dimensional blah, 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 blah. But when this thing we don't understand, the spirit, that thing that, we don't understand. And it actually believes that this is what we should be doing, it gets done.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if it's something, if you're like trying to manifest or doing something that I think would cause harm or is really like bad, I guess, I don't know how to say this right, but I don't think the universe is going to answer anyway. Like if I'm out there manifesting every day, like, okay, even though, what can I call him? Donut guy. So even if Donut guy,
Donut guy.
Donut guy.
He's really bad. He's trying to like depopulate the planet, right? So like if I'm out there going like, universe, kill him, that's not gonna happen because it's not in alignment with, you know what I mean? Am I saying this right or am I scrolling out?
No, because you manifested him. You needed him to help drive your simulation in this direction. So you can believe,
you people manifested him. No, I dream of like unicorns and bears and playing in the woods and stuff. No, you guys people.
There is no you. There's no you guys. Susan. I
think he meant because of you guys.
No, Susan, you did this, woman. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. You are true in this dimension.
It says it's Susan's fault.
It's Susan's. You did this, Susan. I'm just trying to tell you. Look, hey, there's a portion of you, a yin and a yang is doing its thing, and you manifested Mr. Donut Man.
Yeah, April's right.
As much as you don't want him to be around, part of you knows that he has to be around because it's going to help to teach you something. And in my realm, my little dimension, I've manifested the same damn thing. And I don't like it, but this is happening for a reason. Like everything is perfect.
That's why
darkness driving light.
The world is a sacred vessel. which must not be tampered with or desired after. That's Lao Tzu. It's perfect the way it is.
No, I don't use a pendulum. If it was if it was for me, I don't use a pendulum. No, I use vibrations. But the one said if things not understand, like, then it's superstition. But when you understand, it's logic. It's quantum things like that. I mean, quantum works the same. It's scientific explained how manifestations work, isn't it? Yeah. And
want some
And
physics.
and just to clarify to anybody who's like, oh man, Gerard, he's got a great feeling. I thought these people were nuts 2 years ago. I thought this was all nuts. I thought it was hoopla. I think they smoked too much cannabis. I thought these people was just drinking all kind of mushroom salads and stuff. The mushrooms you ain't supposed to pick.
Too much
And like, but if you really start to think about it, it really makes sense. And we don't have anyone else to blame. Like, it seems that the vibrations of this society is all based in you being right and you blaming other people for what's going on. But we are all a part, you know, not just financially and physically and paying taxes and voting and blah, 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 blah. We created and helped manifest everything that's around us. This is literally your dimension.
We do.
yeah, that's why what I just saw. I think I read it somewhere that, my God, Stephen Greer. I mean, when we are such a low civilization comparing to the civilizations we don't know yet. We're like, like ants, like whatever. No, ants are even better, but yeah. What I think we are maybe demons. I think, okay, because he was describing something. Oh yeah, maybe we are demons. I don't know. It's like, we are such. Yeah, and he explained that. There were space weapons. That was a thing, like, and I think those other civilizations in space, I would call them, said we should not use them because that brings this balance in this environment around Earth in space, actually, and it's very wrong. And but anyhow, they can like prevent it very easily. But then it should be our choice that we have that insight why we should not use those. But then they wanted, because they said they wanted to do weapons for space to give the idea that aliens are very violent creatures out of the universe. And that's the Blue Beam project, so that we will agree with, okay, wow, soon, maybe in June or something, we can see those man-made spaceships somewhere in the sky.
June? Oh, June! Remember?
Oh,
40 years ago, Jupiter Saturn conjunction. Something's happening in June, people. I don't know what, but get ready.
Gemini and Cancer season. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but but that's a kind of strong thing because most people are not busy with it. Like, with medicine, people are figuring out, like, those donuts, they don't seem to be so appetizing. So maybe we should not eat them. But this other stuff with spaceships, because they're gonna try it, because now the donuts are not popular anymore. That is, but
I know.
That's right.
The donuts are no longer popular.
She's right. The donuts are falling out because people don't want them. And so, and this was a theory that we had a long time ago, which was when people are no longer scared of this, they're going to come up with the next thing to scare you up. We are a herd. We're being driven like buffalo towards a cliff. Yeah. And when buffalo aren't scared of this, you got to do something else. And so I agree with you, Christine, that the whole blue beam thing, or the next run, fear, terrorist, something's coming to get you, do what the billionaires tell you because they're going to save you. All of this is about controlling the human race. And I don't think that we're demons, Christine. I don't think that we're dark, and I don't think that's really what Hancock and people
maybe not, but it was
I think we're just immature, right? As a species, we are very, very immature. Like we literally live in a time where we are okay and support a system that keeps the most important secrets far from us. We support a system that censors science, technology, and anybody who comes up with anything significant that would combat our role in climate change. They'll ban the technology, and that's the people who are claiming that they're fighting to stop climate change. Right? Anything that will get us off of fossil fuels through that law, the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951, immediately is classified so the public can never use it. We aren't evil. We're just significantly immature. And I don't think the aliens are evil either. I think whatever aliens are, they watch us and they understand that we have to learn how to walk. It's like a baby.
Yeah, no, they're much more advanced.
So what would happen if your baby was trying to walk, and instead of you letting the baby fall, you pick the baby up and you just kept holding its arms to help it walk? It would never learn how to walk because you're holding it. And I think that example explains the whole alien thing, which is they understand that we have to learn that if we're going to keep slavery models around like government, which is a model of slavery, a master-slave relationship, that we aren't learning how to walk. And if they help us to get away from the idea that we're not sovereigns and we should be ruled by force and prisons and police and guns, that we'll never learn how to walk. And so to me, that level is the same thing we do for our children, they're doing for us. And in that analogy, we call them Heavenly Father. We call them Father because they are alien gods or gods, whatever, at that level. But if we don't learn that we can't make any good decisions unless we actually have all the factual information, and that you can't have a slave master that hides science and technology from you, that we need to keep getting knocked back every Kali Yuga back to a Satya Yuga, where we're ignorant of reality and the few at the top maintain all that technology. We're just immature.
But what if there was no technology? Like, let's say there was no technology and we went back to living like nomads in nature, right? So what would we have to trust? Our intuition and our instinct. And I know we've been like indoctrinated and programmed, but at some point there has to be something, unless you're empty, there has to be something inside of you that's like, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, even if you don't know the information and you're just following the information given, at some point,
have that kind of
like, this is not right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
so.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
The conscious. Yeah, the conscious. I mean, everybody who has a little bit of conscience should know this is not right what we are doing, because it's innate in us. But
so those that have no discernment, no intuition, no even sense of this isn't right for me to force someone else to inject themselves with a donut, right? Are they like empty? Are they hollow? Do they have a soul? Do they have a conscience? Is the programming so in there that like I always say, they're plugging us in? Like, have they? Are some of us plugged in now? Like, they don't have that anymore?
Maybe, yeah, we don't know, maybe. That was that kind of interesting thought. So maybe they are plugged in, but we don't see it. I have no idea. They're plugged in, but they are plugged in the mind of the slave masters. So they just do whatever they are. And maybe because of nanoparticles, of their awareness is not risen high enough, so they're vulnerable for those magnified energies, what they do in the 5Gs or whatever they are, whatever they use, or chemtrails or whatever, and that comes into the brain, and the brain is polluted by it. I think I have an idea that that kind of things works on people, because however can anyone think like that breathing fresh air is not good? I mean, 2 years ago, everybody would say, okay, you don't feel well, go to the woods, get some fresh air, do a nice walk, and breathe deeply.
Yeah.
And now nobody thinks it's common sense to do that. How can that happen? It's beyond my
No.
understanding.
Yeah.
It's totally
Get it.
beyond, because
And
even
people will
smart
argue.
people,
People will argue with you. Like, no, you
they're
shouldn't
very
breathe.
angry.
Like, there's no reason. Yeah, you can breathe
They'll be
fine.
out. They'll be out spraying Lysol on all the redwoods next.
Yep, they will. They will do that.
Droplets, Jonathan, don't you fight? They got to stop the droplets, man. Droplets going in the trees.
The drop.
The droplets going
Speaking of the Native American stuff, though, I forget his name. Floyd. Damn it! I know it's not George Floyd.
Yeah.
Like Chief Floyd something or Chief something Floyd. But anyway, he does video. He's dead now, but he had videos on like interviews, and he was saying that so what we breathe out, the trees breathe in, and what the trees breathe out, we breathe in, and therefore our destiny is linked with the trees, right? And then it reminded me earlier today. I don't know why I thought about it, but like, you know how we see all those pictures of, like Amazon rainforest, and there's like, 2 trees left and it's all cleared out.
Yeah.
And now what are they trying to do with the donuts? Clear out the forest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The only thing I'd add to that is they've been clearing this forest for a long time. The donuts is just the latest one. When you look at the air, the food, the water, all the poison. Yeah, this is just the latest one. It's like, but before, I have trouble remembering what happened before 2020 because it's been so ridiculously.
It's been 10 years.
Well, we used to talk about Deborah Tavares, right? And silent weapons for quiet wars. And and I remember we were in some sort of a discussion, and it was like, well, World War III is about to begin. And the point was World War III has been going on for at least 50 years, right? They've been poisoning and they've been destroying, health and civilization and people for a very long time, right? That World War III isn't beginning, it's wrapping up. And the donuts is just one of the last struggles within, the end of this, war with, I don't think it's between nations. I think it's between probably corporations and humanity more than anything else. But the donuts is just the last form of depopulation that kings and lords have always been up to.
Well, World War I was just rebranded as World War II.
Yeah, there was no 1 and 2.
Funny thing about that, Susan, is that one of the French generals, right after the peace treaty of Versailles in 1919, said this about the peace treaty. This is not a peace treaty. This is an armistice, a ceasefire for 20 years. And he was fucking right.
Wow.
That's exactly what it was.
Yep.
That was one war. And it was all orchestrated by central bankers in London. The whole thing was planned out decades in advance.
Yep.
I mean, we know that now. Gerard, you I think I mentioned to you that I was watching some documentaries on James Corbett's site where he was discussing the historians McGregor and they're Scottish guys, and they've written 2 books on World War I, detailing how the cabal pulled the strings on everything, both before the war and during the war. Those books are great reads. I'll go ahead and post those titles into comments afterwards.
Yeah, do that. I remember Corbett talking about it, right? And it was astounding. But so, and this is why I kind of think everything is like super controlled on social media. Because when you start to look at the actual history and realize that everything is a false flag, everything is being controlled, and the banks and the same families fund all sides of every war. It always goes to kind of I don't say too far, but they take that reality that we actually could take and do something with and evolve away from being controlled by the few, and they take it to an extreme that divides us, right? So that became the whole Holocaust wasn't real, narrative, right? And that's divided people to a point where now they don't even think about the fact that World War One, World War II was World War One.
Right.
It was just World War One Part Two, and that it was set up by the same families who are still in power designing the societies and the wars today. But you got the whole anti-Semitism, all of these things, these words that come up that turn facts into emotions. I'm struggling for the right words to say, but they make it emotional, and that's the only way you can get in intellectual people who are critical thinking, who can modify the current system or their behavior to modify the system into not doing any damn thing by making it them an emotional mess. That's what the right. I'm sorry.
That's what they're doing now.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't see what's happening behind the scenes, because with that stupid black and white game, which is like totally nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're planning behind the scenes, but it's not going to be good.
Oh, it's a lot. I mean, we've been hiding from the air and white people and black people and immigrants, and we've been hiding from every damn thing for what, 5 years, 6 years now.
Yeah, grandma was scary. Now children are scary.
Yeah. Oh, we're hiding from grandma, hiding from the kids. Who knows? And so we've been playing this game with the television for this damn long. Who knows what they really have been up to?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. It's like everything, they flip everything upside down. So that's one. So you're starting upside down, like trying to figure things out, right?
Right.
And then by the time you get right side up, now all the words are different and all the, you know what I mean? Like everything's constantly changing in a weird way where you have to, like, I'm always like, I can't navigate this matrix. It's insane. And it is. And they make it that way so you can't navigate it.
Yeah. And for the children, oh my God, how much they are indoctrinated. It's crazy. If you see
Horrible.
about the school and the stupid masks, and then about how it's so healthy to get donuts and things like that. Oh, if you see that program, it's like, oh, you cry if you see it. And then the little children,
people
that's
putting
really
masks on newborn infants.
Oh, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I cannot see it, because then I am more like crying because children are innocent and they have no power against it. No power at all. And
when they talk about the new normal, they meant that for our children.
Yes.
Because they knew we would remember what it was like.
Right.
Our normal, you know what I mean?
Yep.
The new normal, like I said, I feel like everything's a 20-year plan with them. Everything's a 4-year plan, a 10-year plan, and a 20-year plan.
Well, because they win on our ignorance, right? We don't understand things, and we just go along with what we're told. And what I was thinking about the other day is that a lot of people don't know that oxygen is required for your immune system to fight cancer, right? And it's so significant that you've got these the hyperbolic chambers, which is clinics are blowing up all over the country because even doctors are prescribing people to sit in these chambers that use compression and air pressure to force oxygen in your body, which boosts your immunity. What do you think is going to happen with cancer after 2020?
Oh wait,
where Tree Bigdell proved with all the other scientists and the research that's kept from the population that when you have a face diaper, your body is being starved of oxygen. We're seeing an explosion in cancer.
It was oh yeah, I know. And especially when they turn on whatever they're turning on in October. But so it was, I don't know, some doctor guy, but so he discovered that 10%, like if you're getting 10% less oxygen than you should for a 24-hour period, cancer cells actually start growing.
Right.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
That's why a lot of
you already have it in you, it just grows. You know what I mean? Like pretty much any disease. And so after 10 10% less oxygen or whatever, not full oxygen for 24 hours, cancer cells start to grow.
And another thing, when we were in the 60s, like when we were like 70s, 80s, when feminism came up, that's also a kind of thing they designed.
Yes.
So, and we bought it. I mean, we bought it at the time.
Oh yeah.
Now we see the lie.
Yeah. Well, everything is control. Right? Everything is trying to get one group to control another group. And they know that you'll never control that other group, that humans don't like to be enslaved or be forced around or ruled by force. And so, this group is put on top, and then they're going to fight for power from this group, and that group is on top, and eventually another group will rise, and that group's on top. And so meanwhile, while we're fighting in the fantasy world with these little silly identities and these little silly identity struggles, the few with the real technology, the real power, they continue to advance while we stay behind. And it's a great scam, and it works because we're largely ignorant. Probably. So back to ancient knowledge. This is how Atlantis fell, and we are just the next falling Atlantis.
And if you think about it, right? So like you said it before, Gerard, right? So if I'm showing off my brand new house and my brand new car and, my brand new iPhone and all that, I'm showing off how much better I am than the people in the mine suffering to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
like I have a lot, someone else is lacking a lot.
Right.
Yeah. Sag Guru
6-year-old Nigerians mining blood diamonds. Never heard of them.
Yeah.
Don't even care.
They don't exist.
Sag Guru said something to the effect of a society that bases its pride and its success and having what other people don't have is mental illness, right? Basing your joy, basing what you call success, and having what other people don't have is a mental illness. That's not success. And we are a society that is 100% proud of their mental illness.
That's basically what Confucius said about 5,000 years ago, Gerard. Basically, that the measure when wealth and when extreme wealth and extreme poverty exist in a society, that is a sign of its sickness. I'm totally screwing up his quote because it's much better than that sounded. But nothing changes. Nothing changes.
Because we
have to change it.
Right. We refuse to look in the mirror and look at what the actual problem is. We live on an abundant planet where there's more than enough for everyone, but it means we need to be okay with only having our fair share. And what drives and that realization, Susan, that you had right there, I mean, that's really what kind of did it for me when I realized that, the saying behind eat the rich. Right? It's not because they hate the rich. It's because they want to be the rich.
They want to be them.
They're little mini billionaires. They're living out their lives, and they're teaching their children to be proud of having things that other people don't have or other kids don't have, because they want to be Bill Gates. They want to be Mark Zuckerberg. They want to be Elon Musk. They don't have any problem with capitalism. They don't have any problem with greed. They can talk communism all they want to their blue in the face. It's bullshizzle. They're capitalists, and they want to be the god on top. They want to be the king on top. And,
how the Russian Revolution ended. You had a complete psychopath in power that created a system of fear, paranoia, and terror to keep everyone else beneath him. Stalin.
Are we talking about Biden?
It's happening now.
Give it time. Give it time.
It's happening. It's happening now everywhere. It's happening now. And that's what I think is ideal.
Time. What do you even say to people like that?
Yeah. Well, and even with feminism or Black Lives Matter or the gay pride movement or whatever you want to call it, me, it's never about equality. Every single time it's about, I want the power over these people.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They're not actually ever fighting for everyone to be equal. Yes. They just want their group to be on top. And bullshit.
Let me try to be nice and put a little sunshine on that. I think the majority of people want to be equal. Right? I think the majority of women in women's rights, they want to be equal. I think the majority of Black people and Black lives matter and white people, they want to be equal. I think the majority always wants equality, but that's not how humans work, right? That's not how movements work. Because when the majority see that, hey, progress is being made, you know, we have a right to vote. We now, as women, can have bank accounts. We now can drive cars. We now can do these things. Progress is happening. I'm going to go do human things and raise my children or get a job or have a bank account and free myself. And the psychopaths take over, right? Anytime you have significant power, progress and power in a direction, the normal people step away who actually want the equality, and who's left over are the psychopaths who want supremacy. And this is what happened to the civil rights movement, right? It's not just the women's, it's all the movements, right? In the end, the people who had legitimate gripe with the system, they step back because they think things are going in the right direction, and the supremacists take over. And this is what got Martin Luther King killed, right? Because, you know, once again, they colluded with the civil rights leader to kill the man because they wanted supremacy. And the only way they were getting supremacy was going along with Johnson and the Vietnam War and all of that. So, you know, what has to change is us, right? It's a system. It's not even to say the psychopaths are bad. What's bad is the system of power. You cannot use power to force people to be or do anything. You have to change yourself, and you have to be okay with however things go. It's within your own mirror. I'm done.
Change is always from within, never comes from without.
Yeah.
If our awareness is high, then we don't feel like we need power. We need only the self-discipline to to have control over ourselves. Let's start with that before. And if we have that, we don't feel like the need to overpower other people. I think that's just called your evolution. That's what the guru is. He's just 100% self-disciplined. He knows his skills, his everything about himself. So he doesn't need any kind of power because he has all the power within. And that's
and the realization that he's not going to die or she's not going to die. No one ever really dies.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, because it goes along with your point, Gerard, and you, Christine, Men in Black, when he says an individual is smart and logical, people are stupid. Like if you got a group each one-on-one, you'd probably agree with most of them. You'd probably be like, yeah, you know what I mean? But as together in a group with a leader, no, that it becomes stupidity. It's weird. Yes. It's so weird.
It's not weird. It's not. That's the silverback because you get them all together and, you know, you individually. Yeah, most people you talk to are good people and they mean well, and you can have a logical discussion with them. But anytime you got a silverback in the group, that silverback wants power. They want, they want to browbeat their chest, and you get the crowd going. And, groupthink. That's the word.
Yeah, groupthink. Yeah.
Groupthink.
We know groupthink is a problem. Anytime you get in a group, it's going to make you stupid. So we need to evolve sovereignty and no longer be in any of these ignorant requiring groups.
Because I was thinking about it on an economic level, but then it went deeper. But right, because everything we get is from China, like everything.
Yeah,
everything. We make nothing no more. We make nothing but friggin', I don't know,
these
nothing. Yeah, no, we don't make shit. So anyway, I was like, if you have something that just consumes and never produces or gives back, it's gonna die. It'll eat itself, right?
It's called a parasite.
Right. All it does is consume till it's dead.
It will kill the host.
Right. Yeah. And then I was thinking, like, that's what we are taught, like brainwashed since we were born, basically, because like all of us were born when TVs were out. You know what I mean? And it's just like our whole lives consume, and you're never. And I think that's part of the problem. Everybody's just always consuming and, this outside of me is going to make things better, make my life better. And
instead of being creative, because I think the parents, like our parents, were much more creative in solution with having nothing. They always find solutions.
Yeah.
I mean, if they hear stories, how much joy they had. They were telling like they started with nothing and then this happened and that happened. Yeah, just my father wrote a little book and I'm reading it and it's so much fun. It's like, yeah, they had no television when they were young.
No.
So and then they started very late. So anyhow, but how creative they were and how they worked together, because in that time they wanted to start a kind of, I mean, I read that book like a music corps, like with all those instruments and things like that. But it was a poor village, and then I couldn't understand, and they raised like 20,000 francs. That would be now like 200,000 francs, or how many euro? I don't know yet. Like anyhow, divided by 40. Anyhow, that would have been like maybe 10,000 or 20,000 euro. In that time, 60 years back, 100 years back, that was an amount of money. But they could raise it. And now people, they would maybe give a penny or something, but they are not that generous anymore, because they were all together. If you see that the stories about this village, everybody worked together. If they had a penny, they gave a penny. So the generosity is not here, it's not there anymore. And that is like,
we're indoctrinated to be that way. It's like what Barbara Peters just said. We are indoctrinated to be cancer. We teach our children from the very young to be the tumor. And what does cancer do? Eat the host, to kill the host. The host is earth. We're all raised to eat the earth and will never be satisfied. Your BMW is never fast enough. You need a Benz. It's never big enough. You need a Range Rover. The McMansion's not big enough. You need a mansion, right? We're all in a fight to see who can eat the earth the fastest and kill the host that we need to live on.
Right.
And the only escape is to step out of it. You have to literally step out of the matrix, and you have to change your behavior and live your life within your own means, within your own resources that allows everybody else to have resources.
Yeah, because they had one car in the village when he was young. So that was all. And they had cars, still horses and cars. But if you see how much fun they had, if you read about it, it's like, they were like, no television, nothing, but so creative. Yeah, we have to go back, not to have no technology, but that kind of collectivity in a positive way, not group things, because everybody was a kind of personality. He describes the different types of people in his village, totally different, not like you find now, but they accepted everybody. You have the fool in the village, then you have the doctor, then you have that, and everybody was like, it's very funny when he writes about it, like, wow. And now we are like, we have a group thing. We don't have personalities anymore, because
no, and that's, what, actually, them, whoever they are, whatever, octopuses, reptilians, whatever they are, right?
I'm still gonna watch that Simpsons episode on YouTube today.
Yeah, I have to see that too. I didn't see that. Yeah.
Oh my God, I heard a turtle have sex. It's funny. You gotta Google that. Anyway, it's the funniest thing ever. It's so funny.
What is it?
I don't know where that came from anyway.
The turtle did what?
A turtle having sex.
Oh, okay.
What?
Seriously?
They make this noise. It's great. It's the funniest thing. You gotta say it. Anyway.
Yes.
Like, the whole plan was like globalism, right? Like New World Order and having control over the whole earth or whatever. Now that I think about it, that's their downfall, because it was too big. You know what I mean? It was too much.
Yeah.
And then, because like we're always like, oh, the New World Order. dude, New World Order's already been here. Like, I mean, it's not coming. We're already under globalism. Like, yeah, World Economic Forum, they meet every year to talk about killing us. So I don't know where everybody's been. But yeah, I think that them going too big like that is what is destroying them. And people getting back to smaller communities, like you can still have like a global economy, but be rooted in small communities.
Decentralize everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Decentralize.
That is most important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. What do we need a standing army for?
It's funny.
Colonize.
Oh, to defend corporate interests overseas. That's the only reason.
What do you need enough nukes for to blow up the planet 100 times over? Like, who is that going to serve? That ain't even going to serve them.
Yeah.
So what is the point? That
Right.
they make no sense at all. Yeah, you're not gaining anything by setting one of them off. So
no.
Yeah. So weird.
Fear. I think the more fear you can generate, the more you can control people, right? Like that's how we're controlled. Is if you can scare the Chinese into, you know, being scared of America's 50 nukes, they'll make 51. If you can scare Russians into being scared of the 51 nukes, the Russians will make 56. And this is what I started talking about earlier, and I forgot who it was who did the video about it, but it was about, you know, the Chinese actually have a Rambo who it's basically the same exact movie. It's just, it's the Chinese version, right? To stir up patriotism, to hate somebody else. America's the bad guy. America's showing up to rob, steal, and do evil things. And the Chinese get together and they fight the oppressor. But there's important research that I need to look at real quick.
It goes back to every European power had its colonial propaganda, you know, lionizing. Oh, Lord.
Little turtles.
Stop it. Yes. Surprise.
What the heck is this?
This is the pause. Oh.
Wait.
Oh my God.
Are you serious? Are you for real, dude? He didn't put it in yet. Did he put it in? Oh, it's in. Okay.
Look at her face.
Oh, she's not even mute. She don't even feel it. Look at her face. She's not even excited. Dude, you didn't do nothing. No. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
She ain't making no noise.
Oh my God. Oh.
Why isn't she making noises?
She's not sensitive to her.
Oh, this I can't watch. That's painful. I can't watch that. That's horrible. Oh, that's it. Oh, he was getting it too. He was and she just see her face, and she was sitting there like, oh Lord, are you serious? We got things to do. Like we need to sweep, we need to clean up. We got all kind of kids run around the house, and you just okay, you go and make your noise, and when you done, then we gonna do some serious. She didn't fake it. She could have faked it. She could have.
Is that the funniest thing though? I never knew turtles did that. That was
funny. It ain't that funny. It ain't that funny. No, she could have faked. She could have pretended.
I never knew.
Baby. Oh Lord. Oh yes. She could have faked it. She could have pretended. Like, oh my God, you've been lifting weights, you know. She could have done it. She didn't do nothing. She was just like, are you serious? Like, for real? Like, what's happening? Like, why are you making all this noise? You ain't doing nothing. You know? Like, all right. So that hurts my feelings a little bit, but, you know, so there you go.
I just thought it was funny because one time when we went to the zoo, there was turtles mating, but they were tortoises. They were the real big ones. You know what I mean?
Lord. Don't make me search.
That was like a noise.
Oh, that is such a meme. Oh, that's a meme. Oh, where's Jonathan? I mean, Beaufont or Courtney. Y'all need to get it. Y'all please somebody tag them right here at what is this? Probably 8 hours into the videos. Susan said, ugh. She made a meme. Y'all need to make a meme out of that. That needs to be a song. That should be played to some, I don't know.
But then that turtle was all cute, like,
That was
like a child. Oh my God.
cute.
yeah.
That was
turtle.
terrible.
Yeah, the cow.
That was horrible.
Oh, thank God for the end of the world.
That's how I know it's time to wrap it up. All right. Whew.
Time, yeah.
All right. We're gonna start wrapping this bag of turtle.
In over 2 hours.
Went from mermaids to turtle rape to something deep to, but I appreciate Jonathan making it about something deep.
To octoputillions, whatever.
Mermaid nipples to, that's just, it's life.
Higher consciousness, who Jesus really was. We're crazy.
Whatever.
Times are crazy. We're just responding to the current time. And as crazy as anybody might think this is, don't nobody here think that nature needs a cure, a donut to cure it. That nature already knows what it. We are in crazy times. People believe crazy things, but the craziest thing has to be that corporations and industries and billionaires are out to save you and your grandmother. That's the craziest nonsense. Somebody asked me the other day, well, which one are you going to get? Which donut are you going to get? I said, I'm going to get the organic one. Let me know when there's an organic one. I'm an organic. I only put organic food in my mouth for the most part. Ain't no way in hell I'm putting something non-organic in my veins. It'll never happen. But people watch TV. And so they go along with it. Anyway, let's do some last words. Let's wrap it up because I got to pee and turtle sex just ruined me.
I just want to say
something. I need to rethink life. I need to rethink life and relationships and love. I need to rethink all of that.
That was so funny
now,
though. It was actually really
yeah. Well, I'm sure that women find it to be very funny. And I'm sure that they see a lot of things that men don't see in that clip. But, so anyway.
Someone said about the pyramid. They always say something about the pyramid, Christine. But just to clear the air, pyramids aren't bad. Like, just because our octoputillions put pyramids on money, don't make them bad. Yeah, they're not bad. Oh, and most likely you're living in a tetrahedron, which is like 9 triangles, pyramids put together, reflecting light and energy off each other, and somehow brought you into reality. So
the dark uses the same symbols that the light does.
Exactly.
True. They twist them.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
and then become inauspicious. Yes.
Please do not do turtle sex for your ringtone, people. Don't do that. Please don't do turtle sex. That's a bad ringtone.
Yes.
That's no. That's a prison sentence. Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
That's so sick. I might do it. That's crazy.
Yeah, you will do it, that for sure. And then you get reported by the police. Then somebody calls you. Hey, there is your sire on the phone. they will come and get you.
Do the big tortoises every like 2 minutes.
In the face. Did y'all get her face? Screenshot right here. Somebody tag it. Screenshot. She said, "Ugh." You see her face? They're like, "Ugh." She put the bass into it.
Oh, it was hilarious.
I can't wait for the memes to come out. It's going to be an interesting weekend. All right. Let's wrap up this nasty bag of snakes and turtle sex and somebody say something deep.
Okay, Jonathan or Christine?
Yeah.
Yeah. My
Gerard, bring this thing down.
Yeah, my lavender tea done ruined it. So lavender tea makes you happy. So y'all say something deep. Let's close it out and be out of here.
No.
The world is beautiful.
Aw, yes, it is.
Look at that! Oh my God! Women are so simple. Why did you do that? Dang! This is why you got poets like John. He just knows what to say. She was like, oh, she sounded like a turtle. She's like, oh.
Okay.
That's all he had to say. The world is beautiful.
Yeah, but the Indians know the world is big. The turtle is quite is a sacred symbol, but the Native Americans, let's stop with that.
Ain't no more. No, not no more. They ain't sacred. Susan ruined it. Susan destroyed it. The turtle is not safe. The turtle is just as bad as the monkeys.
Oh, it was cute. I thought it was cute. He was trying so hard.
I know, and that's the problem. Is y'all think that's cute? That's not cute. She's supposed to, tell him something. Hey, okay, there, Bucko. All right, let me I gotta give you some pointers. Like, this is not how this is supposed to work. I'm not gonna pretend. All right, let's stop. Let's be done.
Yeah.
Let's be done. It was not cute that he was trying. He was like the little engine who thought he could. I think I can. I think I can. And she's like, you ain't gonna get up that hill. You can keep trying all you want. That's just not gonna happen. All right. All right. Now we're gonna ruin turtles for ancient knowledge of the Hopi or whatever Native Americans that thought turtles sacred. All right. The world is beautiful, John. I agree with you. The world is beautiful. We all need to be.
Does Pangea look like a turtle, or is it just the Americas or North America?
That what?
I'd have to look at it again.
I know North America looks like a turtle. That's why it was called Turtle Island.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But what about Pangea? Doesn't that kind of look like a turtle?
It could be. Yeah, I'm curious to look at it again.
Yeah.
Or Antarctica. Antarctica is really weird because it's got like that tail, that piece of land that sticks out. It's like I've always pictured that as like a stingray. Antarctica like a stingray, or like
Scorpio.
Yeah,
maybe a scorpion. Yeah.
And then I saw something about a turtle's shell has like 13 cells, like it had.
Yeah.
And we used to have 13 months.
Yeah, like that.
And then it has 28 other whatever they are on it.
28.
Yeah. Which is
days of the moon cycle.
28 days of the moon cycle. Yeah. See,
so the problem with Pangea.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what we got.
The problem with Pangea is that it literally probably looked like everything, right? Because there is no timestamp. It kept changing and changing and changing and changing. So I don't think we're going to get anything on that one.
No. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, time to go to sleep here.
Well, yes, it's time to go to sleep because the world.
I don't think our audience is likely to forget this cast anytime soon.
No, not after they do the Susan memes. Not after they get her face. Not when they get that face. No, it ain't gonna end for a minute. But you got to get the sounds though. You got to, if you're gonna do a Susan meme with the turtle sex, you got to do the deep one with the next one because she did 2 of them. I feel like I'm a kid and I'm telling on you to the teachers, the teacher meme makers. Like she did 2. All you gotta do is you don't have to watch the whole video. You only got to go back 10 minutes. You're gonna get her doing the tortoise sex, which the deep one is like, and then the light one was like, and she did both of them. And what you got to do is put that to like a little beat, a little hip hop in the background, a little rock and roll. So anyway, all right, that's enough. Now I know it's time to go. Listen, this is Susan, Gerard, Jonathan, and Christine. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us for a broadcast of ancient knowledge and turtle sex. Y'all have a great
break the chains that bind me, 'cause I wanna break the chains that bind you. Do you wanna set the world free, have perfect harmony? Isn't it time for that? Do you want to free, boom, 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 free the people? Do you want to free, boom, 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 free the people from the bottom to the top? Make modern slavery stop. Do you want to let go of the prisoners? See everyone happy. We can have this and more if we open up the doors. Well, what do you think about that? Do you want to free, boom, boom, free the people? Do you want to free, boom, boom, free the people and Mother Nature too? Close down all the zoos. Do you want to boom, 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 boom? Do you want to boom, 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 boom? Do you want to free,